Good late evening on this increasingly sunset night in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois. This is a quick Litecoin update. I see I got a lot of Litecoin people in the audience. So I hear you, audience. You demand more Litecoin just like you demanded more Eraser, and we're going to give you more Eraser right now because we've been hosing Eraser. Bam! Get you some more Eraser. Bam! More Eraser, right? Get that noise out of there. Look at Eraser coming in. Eraser's been waiting, baby. Look at that old TA. There's my little perch tool. All that, this is where we call that the Litecoin debacle that subscriber got. He happened to, a random subscriber right up here somewhere called and asked what I thought about Litecoin. And we'll pull out first, like I always say in any of my technical analysis, on coins or stocks or commodities or anything, you always start to the farthest out time frame to figure out what pattern you're in. And here's brief technical analysis. Upper resistance 1, upper resistance 2, upper resistance 3, upper resistance 4, right? See that? Lower support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You guys see that. So you know you're in a rising wedge, right? Those are often, but not always, bearish patterns. They can break bullish in certain instances. And right now, you've seen everything was going good for it. Had rising price and rising volume, right? Until all in here, this was very bullish. But now, if you zoom in to the the daily time frame, you see a little bit different of a story, right? And this gave us the clue about Litecoin on quick on-the-fly technical analysis. We've seen a pumping price after a crash. Right, this was your blow off where everything was going bullish. And then a down and sideways consolidation, bullish, right? With down volume, bullish after a pump. And this is what I call in the last video where I said we look for hidden bearish divergences. And this was one. To the layman stock chart guy and to the hype machine, this would look bullish. Pumping volume, pumping price, bullish. Sideways and down consolidation after pump and crashing volume after pump, very bullish. Then as you start to get bullish, right, and the laymen start buying again and they start adding up, they're getting very excited. You start forming an up and sideways consolidation and crashing local volume from the time the pump started again. Very bearish. And then if you zoomed out to the weekly time frame, right, you can see from right here a few weeks back to where you're at now, the volume's been crashing. So that's confirming with confluency that the price was about to roll over on itself because the buyers were being exhausted. And that's why I said, if you're in this coin up in that yellow circled area where I made this video, I said it's about to roll over on itself. And your first target is the moving average that was down there. And then you're coming all the way down to 235. 240 to 235, major multi-year rising wedge, lower resistance or lower support, right? And that was when the price was up by that yellow circle. The price was way up here. It was like $350 to $60. And I told you guys, and they were all like, no way. They were all thinking it was doing this, right? And I said, no, you're coming down there to the $200 level. Pour a little pointer tool out. Look at that. I love that pointer tool. It sounds good. I said we're coming down, depending on when we hit it, it was up supporting. So if you hit it quicker over here, you would have hit it at 225. If you hit it later over here, you would have hit it at 237, 238, and then we nailed it, right? So Litecoin, so you see how good that on-the-fly technical analysis is and how powerful my probability-based trading style is with technical analysis and looking at the overall pattern, being able to probability-based forecast it. Remember, we're up to $2.20 to our $100 goal to do a company-wide first ever too many students to do classes. I'm just going to do a subscriber-based class where we as a community pull together and learn together to make it as cheap as possible so you don't get fleeced and shysted $500 for classes when you can donate as little as 1 penny and get the class when we meet the group goal. But on the fly here, you see we got the 200 coming down, and then we got the 50 coming down, and the volume is rolled over on itself. Very bearish, right? So what I think you might squeeze up to get some hype is you start trading up to the 220, then you run into the overhead 200 moving average at 225, and then some medium support in the short term in the 1 hour. And then I think there's a very outside chance that you start running along this upper resistance that you broke, that multi-year, just to build in some hype, get a little fake out, and then you come crashing back down to these lower levels that you crashed down to the other day. And I think eventually, before you go up here in Litecoin, all my Litecoin long-term hodlers, just strategically buy. You should have been buying a little bit there, and then if it comes back down, you buy more there. But if you're swing trading this, my subscribers that got that obviously were in this when they asked for a technical analysis, and I put out a 16-minute in-depth TA on it, and it's got about 100 views now. So the people liked it. I said it was coming down, and we're gonna make, I think, a new low, local low, before we make a new local high. See what I'm saying? Before you retest that upper resistance at the 430 level, I think you're making a new short-term low first. And this has all the signs again, and this is more TA that you get in depth if we could get these classes going. Is look what you got going on here. You got a bear pennant, right? You got some kind of bear pennant forming here. Get out of there. Let me zoom in. I just fucked my line up. Get back down there. Line was right there. All right. So here's what you got. You got kind of a bear pennant going on. You see that? Here's your upper resistance. You say, well, what the fuck's a bear? Again, with this fucking bearish shit. I'm just telling you, man, calm down. Just showing you what the charts tell me, because I'm not a heister or a shyster. Now, this is a bear pennant. And you see, it works the opposite way. So we crashed. You see that? And then as we broke the key resistance, the key support, actually not resistance, the key underneath support multi-year, we had a big crash in price and a big pump in volume. That signified that you broke through the multi-year pattern and you're coming down farther. And now you got to consolidate after that massive 65% liquidation, and you consolidate down with pumping volume is very bullish in terms of crashing still. Then you get crashing volume and an up and sideways consolidation, which we know in the bull scenario, that is a very bearish a continuation consolidation, but that's a bullish as far as saying the bear move is going to continue. It's a bearish continuation, and the volume and the price action is confirming it. If we pull our little perching tool out here, you say, well, what the fuck's going to go on now? Well, I'm about to show you the targeted move. You take our beautiful perching tool and you go from the top of the pennant to the bottom of the flagpole, and then you bring it to the point of a breakout, right? And that lines up with something we got going on down here, right? Let's look farther out into the chart. I'm sure there's key support and resistance there, and that's why I have something there. We'll get out of there. You see that? We got key support and resistance floating around. We'll pull our little horizontal line tool out. You see that right here? Actually, you got some right here. Litecoin goes way back, and there was a lot of support and resistance way back in the chart that TradingView doesn't show, because Litecoin started right here and got way up there. We still haven't made our all-time high in Litecoin. We got way up there, right? But if we're breaking out of this wedge and we confirm it, the target of a wedge is the bottom of the wedge. In Litecoin, the bottom of the wedge, where this pump started after the crypto winter that we went through from the beginning at late 2017 going into the new year 2018 through late 2020. That's your ultimate target in Litecoin, is the bottom of the wedge if we're entering a multi-year bear market. That's what to look for in Litecoin. Like, subscribe, and share. Donate to the channel. Let's get to that $100 so I can give you in-depth TA like this in a probability company-based way. State-of-the-art, exclusively to Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.